Thank you, we honor all that you have done, all that you are doing, all that you have plans to do, Father God, in our lives. May you continue to watch over us and keep us, Father God. And we thank you for your mercy and your compassion, which has allowed us even to make it into this Shabbat day. And we not look over our your mercy and your compassion. And we exhibit that same mercy and compassion to those who are with us. May you protect all Abiyah who are praising your name on this Shabbat day throughout the four corners of the earth. Everywhere Abiyah where there is mercy and truth, Abiyah, there you are. So may you be in our midst. May what we do, Abiyah, what we say, even our thoughts, Abiyah, be acceptable in God's sight. You are our strength, and yes, you are our Redeemer, the one and only Savior, Father God. Elohim Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Bless you, Yahuwah. Bless your name, Yahuwah. Bless him who comes in the name of God. Say, hallelujah. Now we'll go on to the ordinances. Starting in the book of Shabbat. Now we go Exodus chapter 19, starting at verse 1. Book of Shabbat, we go Exodus chapter 19, starting at verse 1, and reads, in the third month, when the children of Israel were going forth out of the land of Israel, the same came they into the wilderness of Sinai. They were departed from Rephidim and will come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mountain. And Moshe went out unto Elohim, and Yahuwah called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shall you say to the house of Yaakov, and tell the children of Israel, ye have seen what I did unto the Mitzrayim, and how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a set apart nation. These are the words which you shall speak unto the children of Israel. And Moshe came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yahuwah commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that Yahuwah has spoken, we will do. And Moshe returned the words of the people unto Yahuwah. Yahuwah said unto Moshe, lo, I come unto you in thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak and believe you forever. Moshe told the words of the people to Yahuwah. Hallelujah. Let us now go to the book of Wayikra, commonly called Leviticus, chapter 26, starting at verse 40. Say hallelujah, we have arrived. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespassed against me, and that they also have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Yaakov, and also my covenant with Yitzchak, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Shabbats, while she lies desolate without them. And they shall accept the punishment of their iniquity, because they despise my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes. And yet for all of that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them, for I am Yahuwah the Elohim. But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors whom I brought forth out of the land of Israel, in the sight of the nations, that I might be their Elohim. I am Yahuwah. These are the statutes and judgments of Torah which Yahuwah made between himself and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moshe. Hallelujah. Let's now go to the book of Yechezkel, commonly called Ezekiel, chapter 36. Start at verse 22. Just well, chapter 36, starting at verse 22. It reads, therefore say to the house of Israel, thus says Adonai Yahuwah, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my set apart namesake, which ye have profaned among the nations, when ye went. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the nations, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahuwah, says Adonai Yahuwah, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. For I will take you from among the nations and gather you out of all the countries, and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you. You shall be clean from all your filthiness, from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes. You shall keep my judgments, do them. You shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers. You shall be my people. I will be your Elohim. Hallelujah. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Elohim, Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah Echad. ويهبت et Yahuwah Elohim, Bekor Levakum, Bekor Nefeshkum, Bekor Meodikum. Hear and obey, O Israel, Yahuwah El, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your life. First command, you shall not have no other Elohim before my face. You shall not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of that which is in the heavens above, the earth beneath, or the waters under the earth. For I, Yahuwah, am a jealous El, visiting the crookedness of the fathers unto the third and fourth generation of those who made me, to show a loving kindness to thousands of those who love me and keep my commandments. Do not take the name of Yahuwah your Elohim in vain, for Yahweh will not leave that one unpunished who taketh his name in vain. Remember the Shabbat day and set it apart. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Shabbat day unto Yah your Elohim. Any of you do no work. You or your son, or your daughter, or your male servant, female servant, cattle or stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days Yah created the heavens, the earth, the seas, and the fullness thereof, resting on the 7th day. Therefore Yahuwah Barak the 7th day is set apart. Honor your father and your mother, so that your days may be prolonged upon the land that Yah your Elohim is giving. Do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Do not covet thy neighbor's house, do not covet thy neighbor's wife, or his male servant, female servant, ox, cattle, donkey, or whatever else that belongs to thy neighbor. Hallelujah. And now we're going to our Hallelujah portion. Received by my Hallelujah belongs to you. 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 You deserve it. 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 Hallelujah. My hallelujah belongs to you. Yeah. My hallelujah belongs to you. Hallelujah. My hallelujah belongs to you. My hallelujah. My hallelujah belongs to you. Hallelujah. 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 Joshua want to have one song. Say his Torah about hallelujah for life. For getting here safely, for seeing all y'all lovely places. Anybody else have anything about that down? Hallelujah! 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 I praise God. Anyway, hallelujah for the Most High Yah, for truly allowing everybody to be here, for His mercy, for His compassion, by which we are still here to this day. Just thank you for not giving us what we deserve, giving us the period of time to correct our steps and correct what it is that we must do for us to get to the next level with Him. For His long suffering. His impatient, a lot of us will be caught. I just say told our about for that. Always having that which did not please Him before our face, so that we may remain humble in all situations. Hallelujah. On any other hallelujah. Yes, I did. All right, well, okay, well, today we're going to short portion. I did that earlier. Hopefully, everybody can catch it. If not, it's on YouTube. But before we go into the lesson, we are going to we have our wonderful sister Valerie who's here. Who is here? So we are going to welcome her back into Mission Cut, as well as her lovely Ben. You guys give me the full name just a little bit. Okay, we'll go ahead and have our opportunity. One. So we're going to read Vayikra, Leviticus chapter 12. Now we call Leviticus chapter 12. Yes, ma'am. I was going to read the first part. Go ahead, sis. Yes, Vayikra, commonly called Leviticus chapter 12, and it reads, And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman have conceived seed and born a man child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, according to the days of the separation for her infirmity shall she be unclean. And in the 8th day, the flesh of the foreskin shall be circumcised. And she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 33 days. She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. But if she bear a maid child or female, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks as in her separation. And she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, unto the Kohen, who shall offer it before Yahuwah and make an atonement for her. And she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. This is the Torah for her that has born a male or a female. If she not able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons, the one for the burnt offering and the other for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her, she shall be clean. So of course we're not doing sacrifices, but I did see that y'all brought a chicken over there, so we'll take that. We'll take that as kind of we'll meet y'all halfway with the chicken. All right, so what we're gonna do now, if I could have the okay, I see it. Yeah, sis, no, you're gonna have to take off your right shoe. Yeah, no, this the right shoe. This the right shoe. The right shoe and the right sock. Okay, if you want to take off all that, that's fine. The right shoe and the right sock, and as she's doing that, because she's gonna take off both shoes, that's fine. We're gonna go to. She did good for her. Oh, you did the right foot? Yeah, she did good. Oh, for real? I didn't know that. Anyway. Yeah, I did. Never mind. Leviticus, we're gonna go to the book of Vayikra. We call Leviticus, we're going to chapter 8. No matter why he cried, come to Leviticus chapter 8, we're going to start at verse 22. Why he cried 8:22. And he brought the other lamb, the ram of consecration. And Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the ram. And he slew it. And Moshe took of the blood of it and put it on the tip of Aaron's right hand, upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And he brought Aaron's sons and Moshe, put of the blood upon the tip of their right ear, and upon the thumbs of their right hands, and upon the great toes of their right feet. And Moshe sprinkled the blood upon the altar round about. So right here we have some ram's blood. If you could, my brother, come up and put some of the blood on her right earlobe, her right thumb, and her right toe. Just like that. Don't spill all the oil on the floor. You don't need no oil in that afterwards. Right earlobe, signifying that you may hear the Most High, and that when you hear Him, you may obey. But you will hear the Most High. Right thumb, signifying your will. That as you hear the Most High, that you do His will, and the right big toe. The right side signifying strength, and the big toe signifying the walk or the journey that the Creator may have you on. So that about. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pray over sis, and then we're going to do the same for the new bed. So, okay. I'll pray over sis, and then we're going to go and bring in the young man. Bless you, Yahuwah, Father, this is your daughter. May you continue to strengthen her, Father God. May you continue to remove that which causes her to stumble. That she may focus upon you and only you. For you are her salvation. You are her refuge. May she be a mother as Rebecca, to always hear, Abiyah, your words concerning children that you have given. That she may do all that is within her strength, Abiyah, to fulfill your will. May she be an Isha and Sarah. Although she submitted, Abiyah, you gave her word, Abiyah, to also steer the household in the way that you saw fit. So may she never be silenced, Father God, from speaking your word. May you give her the ability, Abiyah, to see what skills, what gifts, Abiyah, that you have placed inside of her ever since from before she was formed in the womb. That you have placed them inside of her, Father God, for a day such as this. That she may know, Abiyah, why you have created this vessel. That she may not allow anything or anyone, Abiyah, to hinder her from walking the journey that you have laid before her. That she may teach her household, her two daughters and her two sons, what it means to fear you, what it means to love you, what it means to obey you, what it means to be your servant. May you allow her, Father God, to be an intercessor for her household, to even cover her niche. Praying that, Father God, you allow her to not be weary in good doing, but to continue to do that which she knows is right. Knowing that if she serves you in righteousness, Father God, that you do not repay evil for good. But whatever one sows, that is what one shall reap. So allow her, Abiyah, to plant seeds of righteousness, plant seeds of love, plant seeds of patience and long suffering, plant seeds of faith into her children and into her youth. And may you heal her, Father God, of any ailments, Father God, physical, spiritual, emotional, mental. May you make her whole. That there is no excuse. But that when you give her shalom, Father God, that she may build up her household and provide daughters that are gifts to the nations, and sons to carry on, Abiyah, your house. Told her about, Father God, and you and you alone are worthy. We thank you again for our sister. We pray, Abiyah, that her prayers are heard, that even right now, Father God, that you are downloading into her ruach, Abiyah, into her vessel, your spirit. And that this is pleasing in your sight. You'll be accepting our praise and our sacrifices. Baruch atah Yahuwah, Baruch Hashem Yahuwah, Baruch haba Hashem Yahuwah, Toda Rabbah, Father. You will do no number. Hallelujah. Amen. You gotta get this toe worked out. So, look. Go to the book. All right. Can we bring up young Prince? What's his whole name? Gabrielle. Gabrielle. What it be? Oranki. Candy. Candy. Gabrielle. Yeah, he gonna say it. I don't want to mess it up. But I like it. So we're gonna do the same. So there's is right earlobe, right thumb, and right his toe. Right earlobe. Take a whole
Right thumb.
right thumb. And right earlobe. I mean,
Right toe.
right toe, right big toe. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're gonna be anointed to walk. Right, Daddy. Got it.
Cool. Now we're gonna go ahead and launch.
Oh.
Yep, all of them at the same time. You don't have to do that big toes and stuff like that. Just anoint before you. I want y'all to look at the top. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, so we're gonna pray over Gabrielle. Go to bed. Yeah, pray over everybody. Y'all touch your mom. Come on, you guys grab mom. Y'all hug your mom. Hug your mom. I know. Thank you for the observation. All right, y'all ready? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Father, y'all, we pray over this newest addition to this household, Father, y'all, Stephanie, Gabrielle. But we also pray over the whole family as a unit, Father, y'all, that you give them peace, that you restore, Father, y'all, all that the enemy is trying to take from them, whether it be love, whether it be peace, whether it be patience, whether it be humility, all that the enemy has tried to take from this household, Father, y'all, may it be restored unto them in the sevenfold. May the Yaladim, Father, y'all, be hands and feet for their Abba, for their Imam. May they be able to see through righteous example, as well as through word, Father, y'all, what it means to be a son of Yahuwah and daughters of Yahuwah. What it means to love. What it means to encourage. What it means to build. May you protect them, even at their age right now, from the enemy who comes to try to steal, kill, and destroy. May you protect their gifts, their skills, all that you have placed inside of them. May you protect it, and may their focus be on only giving their gifts and their talents back to you. May you give Iman wisdom and the Abba understanding to look at their children and see where you have created them to be. Why you have placed them, in this household. And they be looked at as the gifts that they are, as the blessings that they are. For they truly are gifts from you. May they not be taken for granted, Father God. For as quick as you have given, is as quick as you can take away. But may these children, not be created in vain. But may they be the strength of the house. The signs of the house. The continuations of the house. May they always stick together, Father God, and not let anything or anyone tear them apart. But first and foremost, having love and admiration and fear of you, and then love and compassion and mercy for one another. Well, we bind all generational curses, that they be removed, Father God, and that you allow them to see the generational curses and give them the wisdom, the strength, the courage to choose to turn away. Gabriel, as being the foreborn, be a shalom. And you give him wisdom. And you give him the ability, to even asking them to still show a righteous example. May Gavin, as the firstborn, be the one who leads, not as Reuben, but the firstborn, as you have called Israel to be, one who is upright, righteous, one who leads, with mercy and with justice. May the daughters of the house, show that this household is in order, and that this household fears you. May they be gifts to whatever household, that you allow them to be gifted off to. But until then, may their Imam teach them what it looks like to be a righteous Isha. And you continue out be out to this, watch over this family. Continue to build them up and break down whatever strongholds may be preventing them from being the household out beyond that stands and completely resembles the household that you would want it to be. Thank you, we honor you for them, from the Alpha to the youngest. Bless your name, Yahweh. Bless he who comes in your name, Yahweh. Bless the name of Yahweh. All our hearts, all the mind. We say hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. And so that's it. Aquí, la felicidad. Free to sit.
Okay, that's it.
Yes, ma'am. While y'all sitting down, let's do one good. Hallelujah. Hi, hallelujah. Hallelujah. We honor you, Almighty God, and we worship your name. We worship you. We worship you, Almighty God, and we magnify our praise. We give you praise. We give you praise. Almighty, for those who go without you, there's no life. And we are grateful. We are grateful. We are grateful. We are grateful. We honor you. We honor you. Almighty your hand and under your wings. Keep us in your hand and under your wings. Keep us in your hand and under your wings. There is no Savior but Yahuwah Elohim. Keep us in your hand. Keep us in your hand and under your wings. Keep us in your hand and under your wings. Keep us in your hand and under your wings. There is no Savior but Yahuwah Elohim. Keep us in your hands, come on. Keep us in your hands and under your wings. Keep us in your hands and under your wings. Keep us in your hands and under your wings. There is no Savior but Yahuwah Elohim. You see me, redeem me, you freed me out of the dark. You clean me, you lead me, you see me just at one. I was lost, now I'm found. I was dead, now I live. When I fall, and you call, my response is only I believe. And under your wings, keep us in your hand. And under your wings, keep us in your hand. And under your wings, there is no Savior but Yahuwah Elohim. Keep us in your hand. Keep us in your hand. And under your wings. Keep us in your hand and under your wings. Keep us in your hand and under your wings. For there is no Savior. There is no Savior but Yahuwah Elohim. You see me? You see me. Redeem me.
Redeem me.
Free me. You free me out of the dark. You clean me, lead me, lead me. You see me just at one. I was lost, now I'm found. I was dead, now I live. When I fall and you call, my response is coming down. Keep us in your hand and under your wings. Keep us in your hand and under your wings. Keep us in your hand and under your wings. There is no Savior. There is no Savior but Yahuwah Elohim. There is no Savior. There is no Savior but Yahuwah Elohim. There is no Savior. There is no Savior but Yahuwah Elohim. Break me down, oh, break me down. I want you to break me down. Break me down, pick me up again. I won't give up, no, I won't give in. I want you to break me down. Come on, break me down, break me down. Oh, Mama, won't you break me down? Break me down, build me up again. I won't give up, no, I won't give in. Mama, won't you break me down? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Then let's write a song. Hallelujah. So as I said, we're not going to do 12 portion this particular morning. We'll have to know there's something I was meditating on this morning. So you either build or you destroy. You either build or you destroy. So we're going to go to the missionary. Common called Proverbs Chapter 14. Chapter 14. Missionary common called Proverbs Chapter 14. You either build or you destroy. Verse 1. Every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish plucks it down with her hands. So it says, every wise woman builds her house, but a foolish one plucks it down or destroys it, tears it down with her hands. So before we get into it, and before, because this is 1, 2, 3, what's 3 on 3, so we even. The females begin to, they think I'm talking about them. So you got Ish, then you got Isha. I think I'm missing. I think Ish is the outlet. Ish is with the outlet. Okay, you got Ish and you got Isha. Right. So why is there a yod in Ish? Oh, for the sound. So when you got a yod beside one, it gives it that sound. So you got Ish. So we know that together we have the ones that are not controlled, right? Both have a yod. No, don't worry about that. What is a Isha supposed to be to the East? What is the Isha supposed to be to the East? Okay. Okay. Help me. Okay. So we got help me, which is true. Help me. So we got help me. Anything else? Nobody else know? Okay. Maybe this helps. What is the hay? Okay, it's a revealing manifestation, right? So the Isha is supposed to be a capable counterpart, a helpmeet, but she really is supposed to be the reflection of her Ish. She is the revelation or the revealing of her Ish. So whatever her Ish is, she's the one that shall reveal that. Let's go to the book of Hosea. The book of Hosea, chapter 2. Because I know, I say Isha, and it may seem as if, once again, I'm talking about only the Nashim here, but I'm talking about us too, as the man. As the Ish, you are also Isha. Hosea chapter 2, verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness to speak comfortably unto her. And I will give her vineyards from thence in the valley of Achor for a doorpost. And she shall say there, as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Israel. So, of course, he's talking about who? Time. And it shall be in that day, says Yahuwah, that you shall call me Ishi, and shall call me no more Baali. I will take the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. So we shall call the Most High my Ish, or my man, my husband. So the same way that the woman in the natural is supposed to be a reflection of the East or the husband, it's the same way that we as Israel are supposed to be a reflection of the Creator. So the same way that the Isha in the natural house is supposed to teach all those in her house what is righteous, what is told, what is right. The same way that as us, the man of the house, the priest of the house, as Isha to the Creator, should be doing the same thing within our households. All right, so same methods, different results. Same methods, different results. Let's go to Mishnah chapter 18, commonly called Proverbs chapter 18. Mishnah commonly called Proverbs chapter 18. Mishnah commonly called Proverbs chapter 18, and of course we're going to go to verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So I mean, from one method, you can get two different results. Death, you can get life. That's whether that's outside your household. So from a physical, right, the Isha, with your mouth, you can either bring life into your household, or you can bring death into your household, depending on how you speak, right? To your Yaladim, to your Ish. The same way that us as the men in the house, we either bring death into our household, or we bring life into our household by what we say. That's why it says that by what you say, you'll eat the fruit thereof. So your words are seeds. And based on the seed that you plant, you're going to eat, you're going to reap whatever that you spoke. So let's see some examples of these things. Let's go to Eob. Now we call Job. Chapter 2. Now, of course, it can always be counteracted, but just with your lips, these things will go. So, chapter 2, verse 9. Then said his woman unto him, do you still retain integrity? Curse Elohim and die. So that's literally bringing death into the household. Of course, Eob responds and said, but he said unto her, you speak as one of the foolish women speaks. Why? As we just read that a foolish woman tears down her household. One of the methods is with your mouth. What, shall we receive good at the hand of Elohim? And shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Eob sin with his lips. What she did with hers, she brought death into the household. We'll go 1 Samuel, 1 Samuel, chapter 25. First Samuel chapter 25. Verse 25. I'll start at verse 23. 1 Samuel 25, 23. Because we're talking about life and death, the building up of the house or the destroying of the house. First method is your mouth. So you bring life, you bring death. 25, 25, it reads. We'll start 23. And when Abigail saw David, she hastily lighted off the donkey and fell before David on her face and bowed herself to the ground and fell at his feet and said unto me, and said, upon me, my Lord, upon me, let this iniquity be. And let your handmaid, I pray you, speak to your audience. And hear the words of your handmaid. Let not my Lord, I pray you, regard this man, Belial, even the ball. For he is as his name is, so is he. Now Baal is his name, and folly is with him. But I, your handmaid, saw not the young man of my Lord whom you did send. Now therefore, my Lord, as Yahuwah lives, and as your soul lives, seeing Yahuwah has withholden you from coming to shed blood, and from avenging yourself with your own hand, now let your enemies and they that seek evil to my Lord be as Nabal. And now this blessing which your handmaid has brought unto my Lord, let it be given unto the young man that follow my Lord. I pray you forgive the trespass of your handmaid. For Yahuwah will certainly make my Lord a sure house, because my Lord fights the battles of Yahuwah. Evil has not been found in you all the days of your life. Yet a man is risen to pursue you and to seek your soul. But the soul of my Lord shall be bound in the bundle of life with Yahuwah Elohim, and the souls of your enemies shall he sling out as out of the middle of a sling. It shall come to pass when Yah shall have done to my Lord according to all the good that he has spoken concerning you, and shall have appointed you ruler over Israel. This shall be grief unto you. Not be grief unto you, no offense upon unto my Lord. Either that you have shed blood costly, or that my Lord has avenged himself. But when Yahuwah shall have dealt well with my Lord, and then remember your handmaid. So we see from these two instances, I know we all know the story of Abigail and David, that a woman in her household, whether that be the natural woman, as in, that's for y'all, for Nashim in here, or as the Nashim or the Isha of the Creator. Now, this is based on what? What is wisdom? Knowing the commandments?
No, fear of Yah.
Listen.
Yeah, you gotta ask that question.
What is wisdom? What is our wisdom? There you go. One word. What is our wisdom? Okay, and you said it right. I was making sure you knew what you're talking about. To know the commands. He said the Most High, Deuteronomy 6:25. I think it's 6:25. Yeah, that's our righteousness. In Deuteronomy 4, he said that this is our wisdom. We're a wise and understanding nation. So the wise woman, such as Abigail, knows not to take vengeance upon yourself. Why? That's Torah. To not shed innocent blood. Why? That's Torah. So by her being wise, a wise woman builds her house. She was able to save the household of Nabal. The same way we did today, we can either save our household from judgment or we can tear it down. And based on how you act, you may be bringing judgment upon your own household. Based on your words and on your actions. So we see the first method is the mouth. The second method is what? What is the second method to either build or destroy your household?
Actions.
Okay. Let's go to 1 Kings, chapter 21. Another king, my left. of the King was shown, 1 Kings chapter 21. But we also have households that are able to come together, build community, and the community builds a nation. You can't do that if the households are broken and in chaos.
Said 1 Kings 21.
Yes, ma'am. Start at verse 1. 1 Kings 21. And it came to pass after these things that Nabal, the Israeli, had a vineyard which was in Israel, hard of the palace of Achab, king of Samaria. And Achab spoke unto Nabal, saying, give me your vineyard that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house. And I will give you for it a better vineyard than it. Or if it seem good to you, I will give you the words of it in money. And Nabal said to Achab, Ahab, Yahuwah forbidden me, that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto you. And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the word which Nabal, the Israeli, had spoken to him. But he had said, I will not give you the inheritance of my fathers. He lay down upon his bed and turned away his face and would not eat bread. But Jezebel, that's why he said that. But Jezebel, his woman, came to him and said unto him, why is your spirit so sad that you eat no bread? And he said unto her, because I spoke unto Nabal the Yezreeli, and said unto him, give me your vineyard for money, or else, if it please you, I will give you another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give you my vineyard. And Jezebel, his wife, said unto him, do you now govern the kingdom of Israel, and eat bread and let your heart be merry? I will give you the vineyard of Nabal the Yezreeli. And she wrote letters and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in the city, in his city, dwelling with Nabal. And she wrote in the letter, saying, proclaim a fast and set Nabal on high among the people, and set 2 men, sons of Belial, before him, to bear witness against him, saying, you did blaspheme Elohim and the king. And then carry him out and stone him that he may die. And the men of his city, even the elders and the nobles who were the inhabitants in his city, did as Jezebel had sent unto him, and as it was written in the letters which she had sent unto them. And they proclaimed a fast and set Nabal on high among the people. And there came in 2 men, children of Belial, and sat before him. And the men of Belial witnessed against him, even against Nabal, in the presence of the people, saying, Nabal did blaspheme Elohim and the king. And they carried him forth out of the city and stoned him with stones, that he died. Then they said to Jezebel, saying, Nabal is dead, the stone is dead. I'm going to drop down to verse 17. And the word of Yahuwah came to Eliyahu the Tishbi, saying, arise, go down and meet Achab, king of Israel, which is in Shomron. Behold, he is in the vineyard in Nabal. Whether he is going down to possess it, you shall speak unto him, saying, thus says Yahuwah, have you killed and also taken possession? And you shall speak unto him, saying, thus shall Yahuwah, thus says Yahuwah, in the place where dogs lick the blood of Nabal, shall dogs lick your blood, even yours. And Achab said to Eliyahu, have you found me, O my enemy? And he answered, I have found you, because you have sold yourself to work evil in the sight of Yah. Behold, I will bring evil upon you and will take away your posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that pees on the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel, and will make your house like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, like the house of Baasha, son of Achiabu, for the provocation wherewith you have provoked me to anger, and made Israel to sin. And of Jezebel also spoke Yahuwah, saying, the dogs shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Israel. Him that dies of Ahab in the city shall the dogs eat, and him that dies in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. Verse 25. But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of Yahuwah, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. So from Jezebel and her actions, her house was not only destroyed, but all of his posterity. So what she did in the household. So what you do in the household, men, what we do in the household of God, which makes those whom we are in the household with, maybe act out, maybe leave, maybe we make them fall, thus tearing down the house that the Most High has given. Let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 20. See the opposite. Second Samuel chapter 20, start at verse 16. Second Samuel chapter 20, start at verse 14. This is when Joab is sent to remove Amasa. I'm gonna start at verse 14. And he went through all the tribes of Israel unto Heber, and to Beth Maacah, and to all the very Eve. And they were gathered together and went also after him. And they came and besieged him in Heber of Beth Maacah. And they cast up a bait against the city, and it stood in the trench. And all the people that were with Joab battered the wall and threw it down. Then cried a wise woman out of the city, Hear, hear, say, I pray unto Joab, come near hither, that I may speak with you. And when he was come near unto her, the woman said, Are you Joab? And he answered, I am. Then she said unto him, Hear the words of your handmaid. And he answered, I do hear. Then she spoke, saying, They were wont to speak in old times, saying, They shall surely ask counsel at Heber. So they ended the matter. I am one of them that are peaceable and faithful in Israel. You seek to destroy a city and the mother in Israel. Why will you swallow up the inheritance of Yah? Joab answered and said, Far be it from me that I should swallow up or destroy. The matter is not so, but a man of Mount Ephraim, Shabbat, the son of Bikri, my name, has lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. Deliver him only, and I will depart from the city. The woman said unto Joab, Behold, his head shall be thrown to you over the wall. And the woman went unto all the people in her wisdom, and they cut off the head of Shabbat, the king of Bikri, and cast it out to Joab. He blew a shofar, and they retired from the city, every man to his tent. Joab returned to Jerusalem to the king. So we see here our elder mother, who not only saved her household, the household of everybody in the city by her actions. So before I go to the opposite, because I know there's probably a question about, well, what if one side is with you, right? We're dealing with one more. Does anybody know, well, what happened with Korah? Korah. Numbers 16. Anybody? Korah. Okay. Korah, son of Yishar, son of Kohath. He was a priest, he was a Levi, he was a prophet. He rose up against Moshe and against Aaron because he really wanted a piece of the priesthood, right? So he rose up against Moshe. Now, what is not spoken of, but it's another right, is that his wife is the one who stirred him up in order to do that. His wife wanted the prestige. She's the one who wanted, status and all of that. So she went to him and made him go against Moshe. Right. So once again, we see the actions of the wife, words of the wife dealing with the husband, which tears down the household. Now, does anybody know the story of On, the son of Pelah, who was a part of that? Verse 2, On, the son of Pelah. Okay. No, he was a part of it. Verse 16, it says, okay. Well, that's part of it, yes. So Korah, his wife, incited the rebellion, right? And one of the main characters was On, son of Pelah. And his wife was one of wisdom. So on the day that they were supposed to go and light the incense and so on and so forth, she stood in the front of the tent with her hair out, which I guess symbolized that she was on her Niddah for the time of winter. So as the men were going and starting to gather all of the rebels, they could not go to his tent because his Isha protected the house.
Is this an Josh?
Now, this is oral tradition.
Okay.
Yes, oral tradition. So, on which you don't see, it just, let's see. Okay, verse 26, 16:26, just so you see that his name is not mentioned. And he spoke unto the assembly, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. So they gathered from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. But in the first verse of 16, you see Korah, Dathan, Abiram, and On. On is not mentioned anymore, right? So that's why they say that the Isha saved. So we see once again that the wife either destroys or builds. So what about the men? Do we do the same thing? Do we either destroy or build our household? And how do we either destroy or build our household?
I would say yes, by what you instill in it. You should be the example of your household. In a sense, you should be showing them the way. So if you straight from showing them the way, then you kind of like put your household in a bad position.
Okay. The same methods that we see that the Nashim or the women have in either building up or tearing down. Same thing as the men do. We either tear down our household by first and foremost tearing down the one that we're in the household with. We tear down our Isha with our words and our actions, and that means that it's going to trickle down to the Yaladim. Because if the Yaladim sees that their mother is getting trampled down, so on and so forth with words and actions, and that instills in them that that is the way to be, which begins the generational curses or begins the dysfunction from generation to generation. So that means that we also have the opportunity or the duty in order to build up our households and our Nashim, our women, in order for them to do the same thing. So what if that doesn't happen? What if, so we see the women and we see all of that. Now, what if it's the other side? Let's go to Bereshit chapter 38. Genesis chapter 38. Sometimes there are the righteous women and then the ball or the fool. The foolish husband. Genesis chapter 38, verse 6. And Yahudah took a woman from his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Yahudah's firstborn was wicked in the sight of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah slew him. And Yahuwah said to Onan, Go in unto your brother's woman and marry her, and raise up seed unto her brother. And Onan knew that the seed would not be his. And it came to pass that when he went in unto his brother's woman, that he spilled it on the ground, lest he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased Yahuwah, wherefore he slew him also.
That's crazy, boy.
That is crazy.
You doing some dirty.
Go ahead. Okay, so Uncle Ben, I'm sure you did that. Okay, so we see a righteous sister by the name of Tamar, right? We see she's righteous. Yehudah calls her righteous. 26. And Yehudah acknowledged them and said, She has been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shabbat my son, and he knew her not again. So the righteousness of Tamar, right, which then produces the seed of King David and so on and so forth. Her righteousness stayed, and the wicked man, the wicked husband, and the one who married her afterwards, they had to be removed. We just read 1 Samuel 25, right, where Abigail saves the household. And let's see what happens once that story continues. I'm sure we all know, but I'm going anyway. 1 Samuel chapter 25. 1 Samuel chapter 25. First Samuel chapter 25, we start at verse 36. 1 Samuel 25, 36. Because we do understand that, yeah, that there's sometimes even from, the first relationship with Adam and Eve, Juan messed up, but Adam didn't correct it, so they both failed. But there are some times where the woman is speaking righteously and the man is not listening. The man is not taking. 25:36, 1 Samuel. And Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he held a feast in his house, like the feast of the king. And Nabal's heart was merry within him, for he was very drunk. Wherefore she told him nothing, but some more until the morning light. But it came to pass that in the morning, when the wine was going out of Nabal, and his wife had told him all these things, that his heart died within him, and he became as a stone. And it came to pass after 10 days, about 10 days after that Yahuwah smote Nabal and that he died. So once again, we see the righteous woman and all that she does remaining righteous in a wicked household. And that eventually the Most High removes that which hinders her growth. Now, just some other scriptures which kind of speaks that same thing. Mishlei, or Proverbs Chapter 29. Mishlei, or Proverbs Chapter 29, verse 1. This is why the sisters or the men, whichever one that the Most High sees as righteous and continues in righteousness, this is why you have to continue in righteousness, so that you are spared when judgment comes. Verse 20, chapter 29, verse 1. He that being often reproved hardens his neck shall certainly be destroyed in that without remedy. So as the Most High continues to check them, as you may continue to check them, as other people may continue to check them, those who harden their necks in reproof are suddenly destroyed without remedy. Because in the times of being reproved, that was the time where the remedy could have been taken. Tehillim, or Psalms chapter 49. Starting at verse 10. Psalms chapter 49, starting at verse 10. For he sees that wise men die. This is talking about. For he sees that wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their house shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, man being in honor abides not. He is like the beast that perishes. This their way is their folly, yet their posterity approves their sayings. Like sheep they are laid in Sheol. Death shall feed on them, and the upright shall have dominion over them in the morning, and their beauty shall consume in Sheol from their dwelling. Chapter 50, verse 16. Chapter 50, verse 16, still in Psalms. But unto the wicked, Elohim says, what have you to do to declare my statutes, or that you should take my covenant in your mouth? Seeing you hate instruction and cast my words behind you. When you saw a thief, then you consented with him, and have been a partaker with the breakers of wedlock. You give your mouth to evil, and your tongue frames deceit. You sit and speak against your brother. You slander your own mother's son. These things have you done, and I kept silence. You thought that I was altogether such as one of yourself. But I will reprove you and set them in order before your eyes. Now consider this, ye that forgot Elohim, least I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whosoever offers praise glorifies me, and to him that orders his conversation aright, will I show the salvation of Elohim. So this again is talking about the wicked in their mindset. How they ignore reproof, ignore when the Most High is trying to get you to straighten up. And that you think because he's silent that he is okay with it until the judgment comes. This is why, whether you are the righteous man or the righteous woman, you have to continue in your journey with the Creator. so that you do not take part or have a hand in the destruction of your household. But you are the one that keeps it afloat. You are the one that continues to try to build. And eventually the Most High will remove that which destroys. Proverbs, the book of Christians. And Ephesians chapter 5. Chapter 5, verse 15. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. It reads, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So check yourself and make sure that you are walking in the wisdom of the Creator and not as a fool. Once again, the wise woman, the wise Isha, builds a house, the fool destroys. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of Yahuwah is. Be ye not drunk with wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Ruach. Speaking to yourselves in songs and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to Yahuwah. Giving thanks always for all things unto Elohim, to the Father. In the name of our Master Yahushua HaMashiach. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of Elohim. Women, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto Yahuwah. Whereas the man is the head of women, even as HaMashiach is the head of the called out assembly. He is the sixth savior of the body. Therefore, as the called out assembly is subject unto Mashiach, so let the woman be subject to their own men and everything. But men, love your women, even as HaMashiach also loved the called out assembly and gave himself for it, that he may sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. That he might present it to himself, a glorious called out assembly, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be set apart and without blemish. So ought men to love their women as their own bodies. He that loves his woman loves himself. But no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, even as the master, the called out assembly. For we are the members of his body, and of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his woman. The two shall become one flesh. Verse 33. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his woman, even as himself, and the woman she reverence her man. Very interesting. But the main part is the aspect of one submitting yourselves to one another. Not necessarily women submit yourselves to your own men, which should happen, right? But then the men have to give them something to submit to, which is the righteousness. Which is why it says that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. So if you are not helping build up your Isha by the word, to where they are then in a position to submit themselves to you, then you should not have submission. For submission is not something that is submission is not something that is a right. Submission is something that is earned. The Most High said, we submit to him, we fear him, we honor him, because what? I brought you out for that. I brought you out, I cleansed you, I washed you, I made you mine, I put all these things upon you, so on and so forth. That is why you are to submit to me and no other Elohim, because of what I've done for you. So the same thing for the East. if you have not done these things to build up, if you have not done these things to cleanse, to sanctify, for they are you. They are a reflection of you. So if you have not done these things, you cannot expect, or you should not expect submission. But once that man has done these things and have given you righteousness and have shown you what it means to be a man or each Elohim, a man of God, then that's where the reverence comes in at. That's where the respect and the fear comes in, because they have shown you the reflection of their each. Once the man shows you the reflection of their each, which is the creator, then you should reverence him as you reverence the creator, because he is a reflection thereof. So with our mouths and with our hands, we either destroy, women, you either destroy or build up your households, but the order is different. Men, we either destroy or build up our households, and if we're building it up correctly, then the woman whom we have poured into wisdom, woman that we have washed and sanctified for ourselves, they then build up the rest of the house. But if we have destroyed her, then we are in turn destroying our own household. Women, just because the Most High doesn't fail, but women, if your Ish is not doing what he is supposed to do as a reflection of the Creator, that should not stop you from being the reflection of the Creator and doing what you're supposed to do. Because in time, if you continue to do what you're supposed to do, the Most High will and shall reward you for that, either by changing the heart of your Ish or by removing him. That being said, all praise to the Most High Yah. I will open the floor. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns that we can continue the conversation?
So basically, just like how the Most High loves us. So basically, just like how the Most High loves us, and it's not unconditional, it's conditional. There's always conditions as to how the action of love is supposed to be. So, I think sometimes we forget that it's not like a give and take kind of love, but there is a proper order that the Creator gives us so that there is nothing lacking in how we love each other.
I had to say it to yourself. Okay, well, okay, first and foremost, the Most High does not love you unconditionally. There are conditions on what he expects from you in order for you to receive his love. He said, I hate those who hate me. In the book of Proverbs. He also says in the book of Deuteronomy that when you do these things, then the love that he had for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that love will be given to you. So we know that his love for us for the nation is unconditional because he's made a covenant. But for us individually, it is conditional upon you. The same way that in our households, if my Isha is going astray and not doing the things I ask, the love will be kind of strained. Because what I'm asking for is not given. But then again, I have to direct her and teach her what it is that she should be doing in the household. And then I must exemplify that which the Father has taught me. So that there is a proper order, so everybody is getting the love that they deserve. Any other questions, comments? All right, so online, are there any questions or comments? No? Okay, so what we'll do, well, announcements, one, next week is, we'll begin, I believe, in the middle of the week, starts Hanukkah. Tomorrow starts Hanukkah. Next week will be the festivities with the Shabbat day, the gala, or the skating ring party, and so on and so forth. If you don't have information, let me know, and I can give you all the information for those things.
It will be here next Shabbat, right?
No,
No.
we'll be at a hotel in Norfolk. I will give you all the address.
Okay, so no Shabbat.
No, it is Shabbat.
Oh, it's in a hotel in Norfolk.
Yeah, it'll just be in another place.
Oh, okay.
So, Shofar Habrit will be coming down next weekend for their conference, and, we'll be participating in their Shabbat. Very briefly, you got any Teruma, free will offering tithes, that'd be appreciated. That's pretty much it. Call over, everybody good? Questions, comments? Okay. If that's the case, let's go ahead and stand, so we pray up. Father God, we thank you, we love you, we honor you for all that you have done for us. For your word, Father God, may it have fallen on fertile ground in each and every one of our hearts, Father God, that we may be pleasing in your sight, Father God, that our prayers may be heard by you. That you turn your ear not away from your children. Forgive us for our sins, transgressions, and iniquity, Father God. And when we as individuals come to you, Father God, with a sincere heart, praying for your forgiveness, may you hear us and give us the ability to pay recompense, to restore that which was stolen, to fix that which was broken. With your power, Father God, may you heal that which is hurt. May you barack the food that has been prepared for our temples. May we totally go that's for our bodies, Father God. May you continue to watch over us, not only those here under the sound of our voice, but those throughout the four corners of the earth. We pray to your name, Father God, who will seek your face, the spirit and the truth. Turn our right again for Pope Valerie, Gabrielle, for watching over them, Father God, protecting them and keeping them in your hand and not in your way. Turn our right. Baruch atah Yahuwah, Baruch Hashem Yahuwah, Baruch haba Hashem Yahuwah. May the Lord of Israel say hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
He said the adults.